y'all, it's Alexis back again with another video, and today I wanted to talk about my BMT experience but more in depth. So in this video I'm going to be covering 0 week, and in the next video hopefully 1st week, and so on and so forth. I just wanted to say thank y'all to everyone who watched my last video and subscribed and liked and left a comment. It means so much to me. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with the video. Okay, so I have some notes made just so I can stay on track and everything like that. Y'all have already met River. She's probably gonna be doing the same thing as usual. So, so pretty much I just wanted to explain everything from the time that I went on my flight all the way to actually being put into a flight for basic training and stuff like that. So for me, I left January 7th, so actually tomorrow will be my 1-year mark in the Air Force. I'm so excited about that. It's kind of crazy, like it literally all went by so fast. But anyway, so my flight was scheduled at 11 in the morning, so I kind of got lucky. I got to sleep in a little bit more on that day, but my Nana ended up taking me to the airport and everything like that, and I just had like so many tears and stuff going on. So yeah, she took me there. I ended up flying into Atlanta, so I had like a connecting flight, and then I eventually went into San Antonio, which is where the basic training is. I think they do it at Keesler Air Force Base now, but at the time it was only Lackland, and that is in San Antonio. So as I went on in San Antonio, you have to go to this thing called the USO, and so I stayed in the USO for, I want to say like a couple of hours, and that's actually where I met one of like my really good friends in BMT. She actually got put into the same flight as me and everything. Shout out to Castillo. She's one of my best friends, land trip too. But moving on from the USO, we actually had someone come pick us up. I want to say, I don't know if he was an MTI, but I remember he was in uniform, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like this person's about to be here to pick us up. But anyway, so he was like super chill from what I remember. He was literally just like getting all of our paperwork and stuff together, and if we already had CAT cards and stuff, he took care of that. But yeah, so after that, he sends you onto a bus. And so my bus ride there, it was kind of a while because we didn't end up leaving like the USO up until around like maybe 5-6 o'clock. So there was a bunch of traffic, but we had the coolest driver. His name was Coach. Well, I don't remember his first name, but that's how he introduced himself. And he talked a lot about, like, he was just motivating us for like BMT. He had kids that were in like all sorts of military branches, and he was just the coolest guy ever. Like, I can't say like enough good things about like how motivating his speech was. So one of the things that he said is, if you leak, you ain't weak. And so I kind of like kept that in my mind, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. So later on, traffic died down. We actually got to Lackland Air Force Base. Super nerve-wracking because you just see this big corner building, and that is called the PRC. So right when you get off that bus, that's when your journey starts. And if y'all were if y'all are like me, before I looked up so many videos. So when you get off the bus, they don't like yell at you. They tell you not to run. Because like you could fall and everything. So it was like pretty like, I don't know, it was just normal like walking into the building. And then I think they alternate this between buses, but for me they asked me like who was in band like in the past and stuff. So I said that I was in band, and they pretty much put me in band flight, but at the time I didn't know this. So they ended up putting me in band flight, and that was a lot of fun, not gonna lie. Like, it was a lot of fun. But anyway, sidetracking, moving along, Castillo, she actually got put in band flight too, so that was super nice. Oh, River, come here. Come here, baby, come here. Oh, she's so cute. Hold up, I'm gonna pick her up so y'all can see her. She's getting so big. So big, mamas, so big. Okay, so moving along, we all got put into band flight, or not all. He chose certain people to go into band flight. We signed this form, and then we went into the auditorium. So when you first go into the auditorium, they give you this lunch thing, and it's called a box nasty. And a box nasty It's literally just like a half frozen like sandwich with some Oreos and like a juice box. That's really all I remember. I didn't really eat that much, but you're pretty much timed. So after you eat your box nasty, you go into this room, and that's where you get like all your like I guess like your bag issue type stuff. So you get like, I'm trying to think, I think you had to like get like an ECW and then like some other stuff. The ECW is just kind of like your like rain jacket almost. At the time, that's like what we got. And so we had to get like a bunch of stuff, and they were like yelling at us super fast. So like everyone's literally just going crazy because there's a bunch of shelves, and you have to run and grab like flip-flops, like your ECW, stuff like that. And then there's actually trainees, I think, in there who are either there from like tech school or they're like older trainees. But they ended up like giving us like these backpacks and stuff, and the backpacks have everything that you need in it. So it has like all your toiletry items, like your towels and like your toothbrush, toothpaste, has a bunch of stuff like soaps, Tide Pods, stuff like that. So they take you into this room and they do like a bag drag. So they make you dump it all out and make sure that you have everything. And like there's an MTI there. I think she was, for me, I think she was an instructor, like supervisor. So she had been an MTI for a while, and she was super, super motivating, but at the time, super scary because she yelled like a lot, but that's their job. So that was like the first taste of like, oh my gosh, like this is real. So we went back into the PRC, they start calling people's names off and stuff to go to flights. And so that's whenever you're assigned to a flight. Well, for me, being in band flight, I didn't get assigned to like a dormitory or anything like that up until, I want to say like 2 a.m. is when we got to the dormitory, and that's when our MTI like picked us up and everything. So yeah, so it was a super, super long day, a lot of waiting in that PRC. And then we finally got into our like dorm and everything, and we had our mother flight, who is an older like female flight, take care of us and stuff. They were super sweet, like they helped us out a lot. Like, oh man, I can't say enough good things about my mother flights and like my like the older like flights and stuff like that. They were just so sweet to us, and they helped us a lot. So moving along, Reveille plays at 5:45, and that night, I don't know, I couldn't sleep like at all that night. So Reveille played and we started getting up, but our brother flight had a female MTI at the time. She came in yelling at us. She was like, get back in bed, get back in bed. It was wild. But anyway, so we got back in bed. So our MTIs were nice enough to give us like extra hours of sleep because we were gonna have a long week ahead of us, and running on like literally maybe 3 hours of sleep was not gonna be enough. So we had super sweet MTIs, and I can't be more thankful enough to have had them. But I came from the 321st Squadron, so yeah, hopefully y'all get put into that squadron because it's the best squadron. But moving along, let's see what I have one here. So a lot of the stuff that includes like, I don't know, like first week or 0 week, you have like your 0 week briefing. So it's pretty much everything that they expect of you and how it's gonna be. They pretty much tell you, hey, we're gonna break you down, but we're gonna build you back up stronger. And honestly, in the end, that's really what it's all about. Kind of wild, like to think that that was me a year ago, and like seeing where I am now, I'm super, super proud of like, oh, go River, go. I'm super, super proud of like, I don't know, just everything that we've accomplished and stuff like that. So sorry about that little tangent, but you also get your clothing issues. So that's like your OCPs and everything, which is your uniform. I think you get that like around like your 3rd day. So all of 0 week, you pretty much just do dorm and drill like basics. So they teach you how to fold things, how to do like certain facing movements and stuff like that. You also get this paper, it's like a chain of command paper, and it says like, oh, who's in your chain of command for like your squadron and stuff like that. And then eventually like it gets up to like who's the Secretary of the Air Force, who's president, blah, blah, blah. And you study that because that is testable, I think 6th, 7th, and 8th week. I think that's when they like start testing you and stuff like that. But anyway, so guys, so this is not for the girls, but guys get their haircuts. And it's kind of funny like looking at Brotherfly and seeing like all the crazy like hair that they have. And then the next day they come in with like a shaved head. But I love my Brotherfly. I know Sister Flight loved our Brotherfly. They were so good to us. And they were just so sweet. So can't say enough good things about them. I'm actually friends with a lot of them like now. Not in BMT though, because that is very bad. Like if you're talking to like the opposite gender, super bad. But anyway, moving along, we have a bunch of immunizations during this, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so we have a lot of immunizations during 0 week. So they pretty much want to like give you a bunch of like medication and stuff to make sure that you stay healthy throughout BMT. They also draw your blood. I can't remember like what test they did on it, but they just want to make sure that you're healthy and stuff like that. Another thing is on the 3rd day you get your initial phone call. So that phone call, super emotional for me at least, because we had just gotten a shakedown, and if you don't know what a shakedown is, it's pretty much when a bunch of MTIs come into your dormitory. And for me, it was an inspection, and they were like, I can't remember, I think they were like, I don't know, we had to move around stuff in our security drawer and tray, and I put my blousing straps in my security tray and not my drawer. And when I went to go say, oh, my thing is like prepared for inspection or whatever we had to say, I got yelled at, and he was like, what the piss are you doing, trainee? Anyway, so he said a lot more things to me at the time, but I don't know, I was just so scared. But anyway, so moving along with that, they gave us our phone call like right after the shakedown. And like at first I was like, oh yeah, this is BMT, but like I'm not gonna get in trouble, I'm not gonna get yelled at. But then I got yelled at and it was so scary. So I called my Nana and I was like, I was crying. I was like, I miss my home, Mama, please here's my address. But yeah, so the initial phone call is just for like your address and stuff, and say that you got there like safe and everything. So yeah, let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, so they introduced PT towards the end. So there's a strength day and then there's like a run day. So strength days are just like workouts for like your body and stuff. So you do like mountain climbers, like jumping jacks. There's so many other workouts, but I'm literally just spacing right now. But yeah, you'll get set in the routine and there's a certain way that they want you to do it and stuff like that. And then on your run days for us, I think we ran 26 minutes straight. And I know it sounds like, if you don't like run often, it sounds like, oh my goodness, like that's crazy, but it gets easier and better like as you keep going. So if you're preparing to go to basic training, I definitely recommend to be running and preparing for BMT before you leave. So, trying to think, yeah, for the most part, they introduced like the wingman concept. You always have to have a wingman at basic training, and that's just to prevent, you know, people from getting lost, but also make sure that everyone is holding each other accountable and stuff like that. Well, that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I wanted to thank y'all so much for like just supporting my channel and everything like that. It means the world to me. And then if you haven't, go ahead and check out last week's video. It's just about BMT like through the weeks, and then next week's video should be about first week. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Have a blessed day.